stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Amazing. If you don't celebrate Christmas, something wrong with you. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And you can also, if you're busy, I know some of you are around the world. We are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And it's in the flat earther cases up and down the earth. Amazing. If the earth is flat and there's an up and down the earth, how come Noah ever run off the end of the world, end of the earth? Don't you like go down that road and somewhere eventually you're going to fall off? The road ends. Amazing. But anyway, we have every way that, you can listen to the show if you're busy and you don't have the time to sit and watch the show. You can podcast it later, but you could be listening on your iPhone, iPad, doing whatever you're doing, even if you just land up at a beach somewhere, by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500 on your iPhone or iPad. But if you want to call into the show, it's 888 something. Anyway, what's the number? To call in. Can you make it pop up there? 888-775-3773. That's the number. All right. And don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and cozy.tv/JLP. cozy.tv/JLP. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com. buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk or rebuildingthemand.com. rebuildingthemand.com. And my brand new biblical question, thank you, 888-77-JESSE to call in, 888-77-JESSE. And my brand new biblical question for this week, why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? That's my biblical question. So, it is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And every Tuesday is Country and Western Tuesday. Amazing. Country and Western Tuesday. Ah!
What a mess!
What a mess! Beta! What the? What the?
Who let the dogs out? Amazing! Amazing!
Amazing. Who let the dogs out? Merry Christmas from all of us at the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, at Bond, at JLP Network. Merry Christmas to everybody and their mama around the world. It's Christmas season. I have, some of you are aware that I do lots of counseling with individual family and individual counseling, family counseling, whatever, by phone, Skype, or FaceTime. And you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411 to make an appointment, right? 800-411-BOND. All right? But I was thinking about marriage, today marriage. And marriage in the good old days meant something for the most part. And when people got married, for the most part, exceptions to the rule, of course, they stayed married until they died, and they stayed married for years. And I know it had a lot to do with the mentality of the men and the women in those days. Like, women were not in competition with men. They did not think of themselves as equal to men. They were not trying to be like men. And they loved being women. They loved it. There was, for the most part, there was no competition because they understood who they were. That's gone now. And men understood who they were and how to deal with life and how to be in a marriage and the purpose of marriage. And so because of that, for the most part, the marriages lasted until death do them part. And it really did. And that doesn't mean that there were not rough times at times. But men and women were tough back then, and they, okay, right? This is life. And they dealt with it, and they overcame. I can honestly tell you, in today's world, in my country, there's no reason to get married. And men who are getting married are making an awful mistake because it's not going to last. And during the time that you're in the marriage, all you're going to catch is hell. There's no peace in it. It's just going to be a battle the whole time. And you can even see the battle starting while you're dating because you can see that the woman wants to be equal to you. She's spoiled. She wants you to waste your money on her and spend money on her and do what she wants you to do in dating. That's a sign of not marrying that person. That's the whole purpose of dating, is to see if this is the right person to marry. Women today, not all, but most, are not worthy of a marriage because they have been brainwashed. They've been dumbed down. They have been made to believe that they are equal to men. They have been made to believe that they are leaders and not followers. They have been made to believe that they should go out and work just like the man, even if they do have children. They have been made to believe that the man needs to help take care of the children when he get home from work. They have been made to believe that even if they're not working, if she doesn't have a job, which she should if they don't have children. But even if she has children for the husband, not somebody else's children, then when the man get home, he still need to help with the children because she been at home all day with the children. And then she expect the man to carry the baby around in a buggy and all that mess. It can't work. She worked hard to try to be equal to the man, and it ain't going to work. You can't be equal to the man because you were not made to be that way. You weren't created to be that way. And then women, educated women will not, cannot, ain't not, is not, gonna not make for a good wife and a mother. It won't happen. It can't happen. She is on an ego trip. Not a mama trip, but an ego trip. You now have women today who are unwilling to obey their husband to follow him and obey him. And I'm telling you, I deal with it every day in counseling or when I meet people on the streets. Men, I would highly advise, and women too, because men are so weak, they don't know how to make you be to obey them. They don't know how, because if they were not weak, you will have no other choice but to obey your husband and follow him. But so men and women, do what you want. Marriage ain't it. Now wait another 100 years when things get back to normal, in 100 years or so. But I would advise you to just seek the kingdom of God in his right way and let life be added to you. And when the mind tells you need to be married, you need a wife, it's lying to you. It's just setting you up for more problems. Marriages today are horrible if and when they happen. And they are not lasting. They can't last because they're done not under the name of God, even though most of them say, oh, in the name of God, this is your kiss your bride, or whatever they say. Do you promise to love and to everything? And they lie during the marriage vow. They're lying. They're straight out lying. And one lie just leads to another one. Men, you're making a horrible mistake getting married. Today's woman is not marriage material. It's just not there. She is unhappy. She has no peace. She needs you, but the ego is too far gone now. It is too far gone now. It's out of control. They've been brainwashed by their mothers and grandmothers not to follow men. And it starts there. And then they brainwashed in the educational system not to follow. You are as equal to a man. And they just live lies. It is crazy. But that's reality now. Because every human being that has not returned to the Father is on the ego trip. Everyone. And you must return to the Father. It's a spiritual thing. Why would you get married today? Just think about it. I'm reflecting on some of the marriage counseling stuff I'm doing right now, and the woman is a total bitch, out of control bitch, taking the men's children and playing games with the men's children to hurt the men, hurting the children and don't even care as long as they hurt the daddy of the children. And these men pay these women buku money because, of course, they have to pay out so much money to take care of your children, but you can't see your children. But she can have all your money. And she's too happy to do it because she has no love for herself, for the children, or for the daddy of the children. It's mind-blowing. The World Population Review is reporting. Listen to this, folks. This is from the World Population Review. In the United States, between 35% to 50% of first-time marriages end in divorce. Isn't that amazing? In the United States, my country, between 35 and 50% of first-time marriages end in divorce, increasing to approximately 60% for second marriages. So you get married the first time, it's going to be between 35 and 50% of those marriages going to end for the first time marriage. But you're like, oh, well, the next one a little better. That's a good woman. And the woman say, that's a good man. I'm going to marry him or her. And the second divorce, approximately 60% of those marriages end in divorce. And you think that's bad. You're like, oh, well, the first one didn't work. The second one didn't work. I'm going to give it another try, because you're in the cell of your imagination. You're in jail, and you're going around consulting with evil about what to do next. And you end up doing the same thing over and over again with the same results. And you think, so in the second marriage, 60% end in divorce. But if you think that's bad, and it is, you say, oh, it's third time around. Third time is a charm. 70% for marriages after the second one. You get married a third time, 70% of after the second marriages end in divorce. 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, end in divorce. 70%. In my country. There's no love. It's gone. There is no love. And the things that these women are doing to destroy the man's children, the father of the children or child, in order to get back at the father, is mind-blowing. They literally do not care about destroying the children because of their hatred of the children or the child's father. It's evil. And I've told you, until the woman returns to the father, until she's born again of the father, the gates of hell come through the woman. And it is hell. It's pure evil. Think about it, ladies. You, in the darkness of your heart, listen to your God, the devil, telling you, play games with the man's children. Don't let him see them. Take and record. Take his money. And if the court says he does have visitation right, which ain't got nothing to do with the courts anyway. It's not the court's business. But they said, oh, he has visitation right with his own children or child. You still make it difficult for the father to see the children and the children see the father. It doesn't matter that they want to see one another. You make it difficult because you don't want that man to be happy, and you don't want those children to be close to the father. They may have a life if they're close to the father. You're like, okay, Satan, I'll work with you on this one. And you're looking at the children suffering, hungering for their fathers, and you still destroy them by keeping them away in order for your own ego gratification, for your own thrill. Because women who are doing this, keeping the children from the father and the fathers from the children playing a game, they're getting a thrill from it. It's what they feel good about it. And the devil plot with them in their head how to do it every time, how to get good at bringing misery. So in the first-time marriage in the United States, according to World Population Review, 35 to 50% ends in divorce. First-time marriages. You try the second time, and 60% ends in divorce. According to this, approximately 60%. And then after that, it goes up to 70% when you get married again. A one-time marriage is enough anyway. Why you need to get married second, 2, 3, 4? What's wrong with you? You need to get over that, whatever it is that's making you do it. This is from ifstudies.org. American states initially adopted a fault-based idea for divorce. You have to have a reason to do the divorce. It used to be that way, where a spouse could initiate divorce proceeding only when he or she could prove the other spouse had committed adultery, abandonment, or extreme cruelty. You have to have committed adultery, abandonment, or extreme cruelty. And you have to prove it. You just can't say it. And of course, oh, okay, y'all can go now. And now they have a no-fault divorce. You're like, what is a no-fault divorce? You just feel that, you know what, I changed my mind. I don't want this one. Oh, I'm out of here. That's a no-fault divorce. You don't need a reason. Wikipedia. A no-fault divorce now requires a showing of wrongdoing. A no-fault divorce does not require a showing of wrongdoing of either party. Whereas before with a fault divorce, you had to prove something wrong. Watch this from LJ Law.
What is a no-fault divorce? I had a client Friday, who came in and wanted a divorce, but was afraid to get and file for a divorce because she did not want the fact that her husband was having an affair to be a topic of conversation in the courtroom in front of everybody, for everyone to see and know her business. So I explained to her that Nevada has what is called a no-fault divorce. And in fact, all states are now having some sort of a no-fault divorce version. And basically what a no-fault divorce is that a divorce that is being filed does not need a reason of wrongdoing for the divorce to be granted. So therefore, the spouse who is filing for divorce does not have to show that the other spouse did anything wrong in order to get a divorce granted.
They couldn't find a male lawyer to explain that. This is another attack upon men. They couldn't find one male lawyer to tell you that. It had to be a female one. Everybody and their mama got a female doctor, a female lawyer, putting the men out of work. What a mess. Klein attorneys. In the early 1970s, divorce rate surged in the United States as various states introduced no-fault divorce laws, making divorce easier. Divorce should be easy anyway. You don't want to marry, you don't want to be, okay, bye. You can go. Just leave the children with me and you go your way. In the early 1970s, divorce rates surged in the United States as various states introduced no-fault divorce laws, making divorce easier. I remember when they started to talk about no-fault divorce, there was a big uproar in the country about it. But they did it anyway. They passed the laws anyway. They don't care. This is from ifstudies.org. Women file for a majority of divorces in every country. Women file for majority of divorces in every country that has no fault divorce overall. Women file for nearly 70% of divorces in America. Now, guys, do you see that the woman needs you to guide her? Her mind is not logical. And every time you listen to the woman, men, you're going to suffer. And you tell them your problems, and you whine, and you cater to them, you spend your money on them, and you suffer. You're trying to get an illogical person to give you logic answers to your problems, and they don't have it. And then they judge you for it for the rest of your life. Now you got to work overtime to prove you stop doing it. I ain't like that no more, whatever. According to ifstudies.org, women file for a majority of divorces in every country. In every country that has no-fault divorce overall, women file for nearly 70% of divorces in America. You still want to get married? What the? Here are people talking about what it was like when their parents got divorced. Watch this from As Is.
I've actually been through 2 divorces in my life.
My parents separated when I was about 6.
My parents got divorced simply because they didn't get along anymore.
I was 2 years old when my parents first got divorced.
My parents have been married for 40 years and they're getting divorced this year.
The first divorce, that was like my dad. That was the guy that, I'm half of, and not seeing him the way that I saw him growing up was really strange. I thought my dad wasn't my dad anymore.
When my mom told me that my dad was moving out, I was in disbelief. It was almost like I put up this wall of denial.
My dad didn't live at home. He moved to Miami. Most of our conversations from that point on were on the telephone.
You recognize that something's different, and then you're confused about what's happening, but you're angry about it because it's different. But then you're wondering if you had something to do with it.
It wasn't just about them getting divorced. It was about my whole family being broken up.
Mom talked about dad a lot, couldn't stand it. I think I was like a young teenager at the time, and my advice if that's happening is to, respectfully ask your parents not to discuss the other person in front of you.
Every day I fight, and it's a struggle to not become like my dad and follow into those footsteps and those decisions.
Amazing. The worst thing that can happen to children is the loss of a father. In the good old days, they knew that when there was a divorce, the children went with the father, not the mother. Because at that time, there was common sense in America. That's gone now. And the children suffer. A void, an emptiness, a yearning for the father. Let me take a quick break. I'll be back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. and you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Amazing videos from the Anchor Baby put together there. Thank you, Nick. Amazing. At 9 a.m. this morning, the Hake report is coming up. At 9 a.m., thehakereport.com. And it is Tuesday, so at 11 a.m., because the Hake is from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 11 a.m., the Joel Friday TV, you black. Joel Friday TV every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. All right? And this Thursday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, the last women forum for ladies for 2023. And if the Lord is willing, we start over again in 2024. But this is the last one. This Thursday night, lady, come on down. Gonna be a hoop nanny. Every third Thursday night for ladies only. Every first Thursday for men only. And blah, blah, blah. So at 7 p.m., ladies, come on down this Thursday. And Merry Christmas. Whatever your shout-out is, personal shout-out, I would do them for you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday, congratulations, encouragement. Amazing. Go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson for personal shout-outs. You know, what's really, 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 really interesting to me, I think above all things, maybe I one day may tell you there are other things above it, that our battle is a spiritual battle. It is a warfare with evil trying to take over good. And that until you return to the Father by forgiving your mother and forgiving your father for not protecting you from her, that your battle is evil and it's inside of you. It's not outside of you. It's inside of you. Just and that you're possessed, but you think something else is happening outside of you that is creating all this problem for you. But it's all in you, in the individual. That's crazy to me, that you're possessed and you have identified with the spirit of evil, calling it you. And in your possession, a lot of people try to hurt other people because they're miserable on the inside. And they find a thrill, or joy, or an angry feeling of trying to hurt others. Isn't that like mind-blowing? And then it never stopped to say, what is making me do this? I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? They won't even question it. because they're so sure that it's them, and they love the feeling that comes from it, whether it's a bad feeling or a good feeling, which are both the same. It's crazy. I was thinking about this and other things, but I really focus on how women with children, because of the wickedness of their hearts, those who are doing this, there are some that won't do it, that they're destroying the man's children in an attempt to hurt the man. And they're getting a false sense of thrill from it. I also know and heard of and know the men mothers. They get involved, they work along with the women who are keeping the children from their own son. Well, I'm a grandmama. I deserve, you ain't no grandma. What does that mean? You got to help the woman destroy your own son's children and your son so you can get a false ego pleasure, and you call that grandma love. I know women that are doing that right now. They secretly see the woman of the man that he was married to or lived with, but had children with, and they're fighting. The man trying to see his children, and the woman won't let him, but she'll let his mama see him because his mama is taking her side because the mama is trying to get a thrill. She's a grandmama. Don't you see how evil that is? Where's the love in that? What a mess! You must be born again. It's Christmas time. Christ is the reason for the season. Yesterday we talked about Santa Claus and that we should have a chimney so Santa can bring some toys to the children. And people say, oh, you're, I forgot what they call it. Something worshiping. I'm like, what the? Oh, in our own country where we are, Christmas is the reason Christians started it in order to celebrate America and remember Christ. What they call that hate when they said yesterday when I was telling people, it's okay to enjoy Christmas. It's okay for the children to enjoy it. I forgot what they were. No. Remember when they said I was worshiping Christmas or something? Pagan. Something like that. What the? Oh, so now you enjoy Christmas, you're a pagan. Anyway, let me go to Daniel. There's a line open, 888-775-3773. Daniel out of Texas, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Last week you had a caller asking about identifying with war, and I wanted to follow up with it, so I'm asking for a friend.
Identify with war?
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you if you remember.
That's right.
Okay. How do you not identify with war?
When you say war, which type of war?
Fighting in a war where you kill people.
Oh.
You go to war and you kill people. And sometimes you do it as a career. So I'm asking, how do you not identify with war?
By knowing for sure that this is something you're doing, but it's not who you are. Don't get emotional about it. Don't be happy or sad about it. Just if you're in the military and you're at war and you gotta kill to protect yourself in that war or the country that you're fighting for, just know that it's a job that you're doing, but it's not who you are.
Okay. And right now, the common line across the Democrats and the Republicans is we should not have gone to war for whatever. Why should anybody support either one of these parties when they betray the military.
And I totally agree with you on that. Wars does not have to happen for the most part. And when they do happen, it's all for personal gain for the people who start the war. And most of the time it's for money and perceived power. But they lie to you and tell you it's for patriotism, it's for this, it's for that, and it's really not. And so what you should do is not support the party, but vote in the man that's going to work for you and not against you. The man that won't put you in unnecessary war. The man that will make your country work. Because we need employees in the government to make sure the roads are built, to be sure we have a strong military because there are enemies out there, to make sure that jobs stay in America and not somewhere else. You need someone to do that, but you don't have to identify with the party because both parties are the same.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy. Wars are not necessary. It's just like the war that you're having in your life with yourself or with other people. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. But you got to overcome the world. You got to overcome your ego. Otherwise, you're going to always have a war going on inside of you, which is going to cause you to want to go to war with others. I can hardly tell you that, and I guess there are exceptions to the rule, where Americans have gone to war and later found out it wasn't necessary, that Americans have been lied to. And they went to war, they lost their lives. And then when they lose their lives over nothing, an ego trip that the government or somebody else is on, they have a big funeral and they tell the parents, oh, your son was such a patriot. And they give you the flag at the funeral and you feel good because they gave you the flag and somebody saw you get the flag, now you're okay with your son dying. What a mess, huh? Amazing. Josh out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Jesse.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Feliz Navidad.
Sí.
Merry Christmas.
Sí.
Yeah, I really liked that service this past Sunday about things that I learned and things that I know, and I know that I do that all the time. So that was a big impact on me.
It was amazing fellowship this past Sunday. If y'all didn't see it, or if you were not there, you can podcast by going to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/church. It was mind-blowing. Thank you, Josh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. And I was calling to answer the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we even supposed to care about that?
When I do it, it's like I get tricked into doing it because it's like I've always communicated with people in that, or I've always interacted with people in that way. But I've been like a people pleaser all my life, and I'm trying to, I see myself doing it all the time. I need to grow out of it.
So you do care. You do care what people say or think about you? It's
okay. It's like, I wouldn't say that I care, but my actions show that I care, and I don't want to do it, but I can't stop myself.
So do you care about what people say or think about you?
No.
Oh, you
but
don't
the thing
care?
in me no.
Oh, what are you talking about then?
But you see, it's like my action, something in me controlling me tricks me into caring.
What do you mean by that?
It's like there's a part of me that I don't, that I want to overcome, that's in me, that causes me to, care about what other people think of me.
And how do you know that you care?
Because my actions show that I care, but I wouldn't say that I care. It's very tricky. It's kind of like last week's question. It's like I do it, but I know it's not me, and I know it's wrong, and I have to overcome that. But I wouldn't even say it's wrong or right. I would just say it's not what I want to do, and it's something I need to overcome.
What did you get from last Sunday fellowship?
That I, through college, school, and just all my life, I was taught to learn things and then regurgitate them and believe that I knew it because I could do that. But just because I do that, that doesn't mean I haven't experienced it. I become good at with that girl was. I genuinely thought that girl was giving the perfect right answer, but
and why did you think that?
Because the demon in me put that thought in my head, and I believed it.
It's amazing how the intellect is the enemy of God.
Yeah.
And that the intellect, whatever the information is, the intellect can use that to deceive a person, to make them think that they have found what they're looking for, and they'll latch onto it rather than letting that information go. Some people, not all, but most, will hold on to it and just repeat it until they have identified with it and believe now that it's true. And that's all the further they get. They get no more wisdom because they have identified with the information, which is only intellectual, and they think they have it. It's mind-blowing to see that. When God said that the imagination, that our thoughts and his thoughts, they have nothing in common, he was not playing. The intellect is the enemy of God. That's why you see the Christian quoting the Bible. You see the observers quoting Jesse. You see, they just hold on to that information. And I tell them, let the information go. Don't let your right hand know what the left hand is doing, or the left hand to know what the right hand. But people hold on to it anyway, and then if they say it in the public, and somebody say, "Oh, that was deep," oh, that's it. It's over now.
Yeah, right. And it's like I know it's the truth, but even the devil will tell you the truth. Yes. And so it's just trying to. I do that a lot, man. I be trying to sound good, and I think I just need to just stop talking a lot. That's what I got to do. Not talk.
Because the intellectual truth is not the truth. That's come from the devil.
Right.
And the only thing the devil has done is pretend to be God by learning about what you learn about and repeating it to you.
Yep.
What a mess, huh?
Sure. Yep, it's a mess.
The intellect is the enemy. If you notice, people who get degrees, whether they're preacher degrees or secular degrees, doctor, lawyer, psychologist, sciences, whatever degree they get, they become evil because they are now dwelling in the intellect, which is the enemy of God, and they call it themselves.
Right. That's exactly what I did in my life. I got a degree, and I didn't use it for anything because it's worthless. So I ended up going and getting my trucking license. And when I took the trucking test, I just memorized the information, regurgitated it to pass the test. But looking back on it now, I don't remember none of that stuff.
Yeah, it's a waste of money and time. Look at the world today. Look at America. You don't have to look at the world, but look at America. America is controlled by people with degrees, and everything is going wrong. Everything. Nothing is working. But they have the degrees, and they ride high on their horses of degrees, and everything is going wrong. Everything is a mess.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Right. I put my little 2 cents in on Sunday about the biblical question, all right?
All right. Merry Christmas.
All right. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Amazing. Your intellect, the intellect, is the enemy of God. Just know that. 888-775-3773. Stephen out of California, first-time caller. Stephen, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well, Stephen.
My question for you today was, when is it best to follow God?
When is it best to follow him? What do you mean?
Because I'm unsure if I was to do it, get in the track, I would fall off track, or I'm afraid I wouldn't be consistent with it.
Oh, you wouldn't be consistent in following God?
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
And why are you afraid of that?
I don't know. I think it's just internal.
And what does it feel like to be afraid of that?
Just fall into sin, I guess.
I'm sorry?
Fall into sin, I guess. Just like lust, for an example, doing foolish things, for an example.
You're afraid of following God because you might end up doing foolish things?
Yes.
And who is Stephen that is afraid of that? Describe that person.
A person that is afraid of it, or a person, the actions that could...
You said, Stephen, you're afraid of following God because you may end up doing stupid things, right?
Yes.
Who is the you that is afraid of God, of following God?
A person that just may have sex out of wedlock, for an example. A person that may do drugs, for example.
How old are you?
19.
All right. Can you hold for me?
No worries.
Hold on. Let me take a break. Two more hours to go. Hate news, not the fake news, and I'll be back in a moment. 888-775-3773. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
Texas, Senate Bill 4. State Senate Bill 4 outlaws illegals. Nice. Pope Francis is blessing so-called same-sex couples. What? This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Tuesday, December 19th already. AD 2023, the year of our Lord. Stay tuned for hour two. JLP will be right back to your calls. Hang tight, callers. There is one line open. You can call in right now. 1-888-77-JESSE. 1-888-775-3773. Free via Skype. If you're overseas, if you're out of the country, you can call via Skype. Free using that number. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Get your passports. Coming Nonsense Network, CNN reports processing times for U.S. passport applications and renewals are back to normal after years of plagued by delays and backlogs. Routine services now take 6 to 8 weeks, which is maybe a lot, not sure. The State Department said that Monday. A significant improvement, though, from wait times of up to 18 weeks during the scam-demic that they call a pandemic, which is long over. And it wasn't due to that. It was during that because people were overreacting to it. An invasion, Texas SB 4. Republican Governor Greg Abbott of Texas signed a border bill Monday. He's a rhino. But he signed this bill yesterday that makes entering Texas illegally a state crime. The measure, SB 4, Senate Bill 4, grants local police, state authorities, the power to arrest migrants, people suspected of illegally crossing the border, and judges the ability to issue orders to remove them to Mexico. This is according to Commie Nonsense Network and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. Could be one of the strictest state immigration laws in the country. Migrants, meaning illegals, could face misdemeanor or felony charges depending on whether it's their first or second offense. Abbott called the legislation so extreme, and that's a quote, that it would deter illegals from entering Texas. They call them migrants. Immigration rights advocates, no such thing, said it could lead to racial profiling. Ooh, oh dear. Texas Democrats penned a letter calling on the evil Injustice Department, federal government, to sue and stop the law from going into effect, which is expected to happen come March. It has sent ripples of fear throughout the Latino community, probably not the legal ones, in Texas, which makes up 40% of the state's population, unfortunately. Many senators are struggling to reach a deal, meanwhile, on immigration reform, communist buzzword, while aid to Israel, this is at the national level, aid to Israel and Ukraine remains stalled on Capitol Hill. Senate Majority Whip John Thune told Commie Nonsense Network that there is no way the U.S. Senate can vote on an immigration deal this week, meaning aid for Ukraine and Israel will not pass in the near term either. I don't think they need it. The lame-o Pope, quote, "This world needs blessings, and we can give blessings and receive blessings." That's what the Vatican said, whoever the Vatican is, announcing Monday that Pope Francis, according to Commie Nonsense Network and the far-left female run outlet, The Skim, has formally permitted Roman Catholic priests to bless so-called same-sex couples. Ruling is a significant shift in the church's approach to what CNN calls LGBTQ plus people after a 2021 ruling from the Vatican that barred blessings of so-called same-sex couples. So Pope Francis is making the church a little more LGBTQIA plus friendly, say the ladies at The Skim. Now allowing priests to bless these so-called same-sex couples. His move, kind of like an executive order, walked back that 2021 ruling that banned blessing gay couples because God cannot bless sin. The sin, right? The move comes weeks after the Pope allowed so-called transgender people to be baptized, serve as godparents, and be witnesses at church weddings. Still, the new rule clarifies that a blessing, typically a prayer, should not be given at a gay wedding or a civil union ceremony. Also reaffirmed that marriage is between a man and a woman. Many members of the clergy celebrated the decision, one priest saying he will be delighted to bless his friends in so-called same-sex relationships. Gross. Some radical LGBTQIA plus advocates say it doesn't go far enough to remove the gay couple's inferiority to normal couples. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, you're just so busy right now, you can't sit and watch the show. I know you can podcast later, but you could be listening to the show if you're busy right now, whatever you're doing, by calling the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And follow us on JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe. Y'all know what to do, right? And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or Bond JLP on Cash App, Bond JLP on Cash App. Amazing. It's Tuesday. It's the second hour of the Tuesday show. It is Country and Western Tuesday. Yeehaw! Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to
What
me.
the? Who let the dogs out? Woo. Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. That sounded kind of low, but they getting it right. I want to go back to Jeff. I'm sorry, Stephen. A first-time call out of California. I had to put him on hold there. Hey, Stephen?
Yes.
So you're 19 years old, you say?
Yes.
And you want to repeat your question for me again?
I'm afraid of following God.
Oh, okay. And what does it feel like to be afraid?
Uncertainty of falling off track.
Oh, okay. And so your question for me is what?
How do you do it right? Or how?
By not thinking about it at all. Mm-hmm. Do not think about it. And then those feelings that you're getting, feeling of fear, feeling of doubt, thought of doubt, and the fear that you have is not you that's feeling that way at all. We are all possessed by evil when we come to our mothers, and we take on a false identity. And God said that we must be born again, meaning that we got to die from that false identity. So the fear that you're feeling about following God is not even you. So what I want you to do is just watch the thoughts. Just become aware of the thoughts and practice staying present instead of being lost in your head about following God or about the past or future, because it's all an illusion. The fear of following God is just a thought. It's not even real. It's not you, and it's not real. So when you don't think about it, then you're following God.
Amazing.
That's not you that's feeling that. That's the devil inside of your mind and emotions that is trembling at the idea that you want to overcome it, that you want to do what's right and be right. It doesn't want to depart from you. So it's afraid that you may wake up and it will have to leave you. It will have to depart from you. It will have to die. It's all ego. It's not you. So don't even think about that. The real you, the real Stephen, cannot sin. It's impossible for the real Stephen to sin.
Yeah.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I have.
How did that go?
It was smoother than I thought, because, yeah.
What did you say to her?
I just said, hey, I apologize for resenting you.
Speak up for me.
I apologize for resenting you because she not traumatized me, but, like, she has upset me when I was a child.
She has what?
Upset me when I was growing up.
Yeah. That is the trauma. And did you forgive your father for not protecting you from her?
My father had an injury when he was...
Had what?
Like, a while back. My father had a head injury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so you have not forgiven him?
How do you forgive a person that, you can't communicate it?
Oh, I see.
But I don't think I resent him.
Right. Most children, adults or young children, do not resent their fathers. They yearn for their father. They love their fathers. And those who think that they're resenting their fathers only resent their father with their mother's resentment. They have identified with the mother, and they think that what they feel for their father is them, and it's just the feeling that they have from the mother that hate the father.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Because growing up, my mother would be like, "Oh, look at your father doing this and that," or,
Yeah.
Giving me her perspective on how she views it. My father.
She was working overtime to turn you away from him and recreate her image. And it wasn't her, but it's the spirit of evil that made a home in her.
Yeah.
And the way you forgive your father, since he can't communicate, is, you know how you have this fear of not following God or you may mess up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that spirit that's making you think that way and feel that way, the same thing is inside of your father. And so he couldn't help himself either. And if you understand that about yourself, it will help you to understand that about him. And since you can't communicate with him, it will cause you to forgive him anyway. You will still forgive him.
Okay.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I have attempted it, but I've fallen off track.
And why?
It's hard to get into the schedule because, not hard, but I made a mistake.
All right, well, just go back to it. Don't judge yourself. Just realize I got to practice being still and watching those thoughts. And that's all you have to do, Stephen, is to watch the not you. You're not your thoughts. You're not the feelings, the good feelings or the bad ones. You're not your body. And all you have to do is watch that, and God will do the rest. There's nothing else for you to do but watch that, and don't judge yourself or anyone. Speak up, but don't be angry.
Okay. What is the biblical question of the week?
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
We're not supposed to care about what their views on us, but I believe that we should have standards for ourselves, I guess. But other than that, I don't think it should be. We shouldn't really care.
And do you care about what people say or think about you?
Do I care? No, not really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate you responding to it. But Stephen, don't think about following God.
Okay.
Because it's just a thought. And when you think about it, it becomes intellectual. And it's of the devil. It has nothing to do with God. Don't think about following God and just watch the not you, which are thoughts and feelings. Like you're watching a movie, let the thoughts pass. Thoughts are just thoughts with no meaning unless you put meaning around them. And you'll be fine. You'll follow God. It'll work out just fine.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse.
You walk and don't think about, oh, I may have sex out of wedlock, or I may not. I may do this, or I may not. That's the devil tempting you, and he's going to drive you right into what you don't want to do. So don't let those thoughts pass too. Don't even worry about that because it's not you anyway.
Okay.
Are you still at home with your family, your parents?
Oh, yeah.
Do you work?
Oh, yeah. I got a job.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Make sure you save 10% of every time you make money. Save 10%, and eventually you'll be able to buy yourself a house or get out on your own, and it's just going to be amazing for you.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
I wish you well, man. Let me know how it goes.
All right, I'll definitely do that.
All right, buddy.
Merry Christmas. Take care.
Merry Christmas. Oh, amazing. It's the same spirit, folks. I'm typing a note to Hake. And while Hake is coming, I'm going to go to Jeff, a first-time caller out of Ohio. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Jeff.
How do I parent with perfect love?
By overcoming anger.
Okay.
Are you a father?
Yes. I've got 3 beautiful white babies.
We need white babies. You gotta make some. You gonna make some more?
I plan on it.
Nice.
Plan on having a 4th.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See if we can get up to 10.
I was a beta at first, so I made girls first.
Wow, beta.
That's what I had. Yes, sir. I know.
And so, have you forgiven your mother?
Yes, I have.
How did that go?
It was interesting, honestly. I grew up thinking my mom was a saint, and you know how a lot of people do that. And the more I thought about it, though, the more I realized that she did recreate me in her image especially when I was younger.
Yeah.
And my parents are still together, so. And my dad, I would say he's alpha, but still he wasn't able to protect me 100% because I think he had anger too, honestly.
Yeah. What did your mother say to you when you went and forgave her?
Well, I think she looked shocked at first. She was just
like, "You're going to forgive God? I'm God.
What are you exactly? What are you forgiving me for?" And my parents fought and different things growing up, and you know, I always kind of took my mother's side for some reason.
Yeah.
And that was it, I think. Like I did have resentment towards my father, and I didn't know why, especially as a young teenager.
Yeah.
And I think that was it, honestly.
It was 100%.
And my parents held me to a very high standard, and maybe didn't as much with my sister, and I guess I had resentment for that too.
Absolutely.
It's kind of crazy.
That's insane for them to do that to you.
Yeah.
How did your father react when you asked him why did he protect you from her?
I mean, he really did. I did forgive him too, and he just understood. He said, "Yes, son, I understand completely, because now that I'm a husband and a father, I see things through his eyes."
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. I had like this transformation that it started during COVID in a way, and I was raised Catholic, okay, Oh no. But I became somewhat of an atheist in my 20s, and I finally was able to return to the Father. Like I know there is a God. I know there is God. I know God exists.
Right on, man.
And this started happening in 2020, and so.
Does your wife obey you?
No.
She doesn't.
No.
Why did you marry a woman that would not obey you?
I don't have a good answer for that, honestly. I thought I was blind. I could not see.
Yeah. And how do you... No, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. But
no, go ahead.
Yeah, early on, I knew there would be friction because my dad was the head of our household, 100%.
Nice.
But her mother is the head. Her parents are still together, too. Her mother is the head of her household.
Man.
So I knew I just knew it early on, even as we've been together since we were 18. And I knew early on that, like 18, 19, I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of interesting. But yeah.
So you knew before you married her that she was not going to obey you because of her mother's situation?
I knew it would be difficult.
And
the thing is,
still married her?
I did. I was just blind. I could not see. Like you said, I was blind. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better,
Yeah.
But I've noticed when we had children, things began to change in her. And she's still not there because she does obey me. I know how, you just keep asking the question, does your wife obey you? Because no, she doesn't. She doesn't fully obey me, so she doesn't obey me. But she's like 90% there.
And how do you deal with her now that you can see?
Well, I do the silent prayer morning and night. I don't react with anger.
Nice.
I feel the anger welling up inside me when I know she's not obeying me, but I'm able to see it now. When before I would get, maybe I never really had anger to be honest. I did, but not like some people, I guess. And I'm not judging others, but I never was an explosive, angry person. But I did have anger. I can admit that now.
Right. And so,
but I'm able to see it.
Right, and that's all you do when you see it coming up. Don't call it you because it's not you. Don't identify with it. It's enough to just see it, that you see that anger coming up, those emotions coming up, emotions of anger coming up. Don't call it you. Just watch it, and it will be dealt with. It will be taken away from you.
Now, as far as the children go, how do you react to correcting a child without anger? Let me just give you a real quick example. This happened last night. So my kids get this stupid fake snow stuff from some parent at school, and they poured it down my drain. Okay,
wow.
And it clogged the drain up.
Yeah,
and I just didn't see them doing it, and at that moment, I wanted to react with anger, and I saw it, and it came out a little bit, but I was able to hold it back. How do you correct, even physically correcting a child without anger, spanking them or whatever else?
That's a good question. When you saw that anger coming up because of what they had put the stuff down the drain, just watch that anger. And again, know that it's not you, but be glad to see it because when you can see it, you're overcoming it. Seeing it is overcoming it. There's nothing else you need to do.
Okay.
And let's say that because you're overcoming and maybe it'll sneak up on you because you're unconscious of it and you find yourself yelling at the kids, just stop yelling right then and there. Oh, I shouldn't be yelling. And tell them what they have done that they should not have done. And that's what love is.
Okay. Now, even if they're 7, 5, and 3.
Yeah.
And my son's 3. Is it wrong to apologize to a child after you maybe let some anger come out? I'm sorry, Dad's sorry for doing that. He reacted with anger, or you can
just
let that go.
Keep it very simple. And just say, "Oh, I should not be yelling at you like this," but I'm wrong. I'm sorry for that. But still correct him.
Okay.
And then don't apologize all the time. because they'll get used to that, and they'll think that you're weak when you're always apologizing.
Right. Okay.
They just want to see a change in you. They don't really, because most parents apologize, but they never change. They want to see love come through you instead of hate.
Okay.
So if you need to
It's so
apologize,
true.
Go ahead.
It's so true what you say. Children love their father. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I couldn't, until I had kids, I just couldn't understand it. And it just brought me closer to my dad. Me and my dad are so close. We
Yes, sir.
do Brazilian jiu-jitsu together, and we talk. He lives down the street, and we're so close. And I wish people had that, but yeah.
The spirit of the evil that's inside the woman, know that the spirit of the father is of God, and it hates that spirit inside of you. And so it uses the woman, it works through the woman to separate your children from you, to destroy you and separate your children from you, so it can it can make a home in your children as well. But children naturally love their father, they yearn for the father, it's just given to them by God, and that's what the spirit of the woman hates. It hates the fact that the children love the father, because when they love the father, they love God.
That's so true. And I used to judge men for splitting up with the woman and not being in their child's life, and I understand now. I really do. You remind me of two people, men that I respected growing up. I worked on a farm in my teens, and this old farmer, you remind me of him, and you remind me of a coach I had growing up. I swear. Every time I listen to you, I listen to you every day. So
amazing.
You've been very important to me. So I thank you for that.
You're welcome. Old MacDonald had a farm.
Yes, sir. Baling hay on the farm. Good work. I plan to send my son too.
Nice. That's right. And listen, one other thing I want to say before we run here. Do not, from this day forward, from now forward, ever argue with your wife again.
Okay.
You correct her, but don't argue with her. She's wrong. Hey, you need to cut out. You're angry. Go forgive your mama.
She hasn't yet.
But do not argue with her.
Her saving grace is she does have a good relationship with her father. So I'm optimistic.
Nice.
I'm not going to have any expectations, but I am optimistic.
Right on. And so stay with the silent prayer. Watch those thoughts. When that feeling of anger, when that spirit comes up on the inside of you, now that you know, just know it's not you. So don't call it you. It is not you.
All right.
And just watch it. And I'm telling you, man, it's going to have a fit. It's gonna curse you out. It's gonna become very emotional inside your body. It's gonna be painful, but it's gonna die if you stay with it. Just watch it. Watch it have a fit. It is not you. It is afraid of the light that's shining on it inside of you, which is of God.
Right. Okay, Jesse. I thank you so much, and if we have another white son, I'm going to call you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do you know the secret to making a boy?
I do now. I'm not going to say it on air, but I do know.
Nice. All right, man. So one last thing. When that ain't going to come up, just be glad to see it. And that's all you need to do. Just see it. And when I say be glad to see it, you don't have to be jumping up and down, but just be happy that you can see this thing inside of you and know that it's not you. Don't call it you.
Okay, I won't. And you guys have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
thank you
man.
for all you do. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Super chat. Super chats.
Nangiti Aviankoi bought 8 coffees saying, "Hi, everyone. Hello from sunny and tropical Suriname." And it gives a flag emoji, a heart emoji, and stars emoji.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you.
Religiously, I agree with Hassan. Watching the stream and radio show from here 2 smiley faces, toothy smiley face emojis.
Nice.
It's amazing to witness how much my life is changing since I've been able to watch the ego. Words don't do it justice. Being in the same country as my dad after so many years is priceless, Jesse. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amazing.
Thanking hands emoji. Black.
Like that?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Oh, this is thanking hands?
Praying hands, thanking hands.
Amazing.
Be
Thank
nice.
you. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Merry Christmas.
And she bought the 8 coffees. It looks like she bought the 8 coffees twice.
Thank you.
So appreciate the support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Breakfast, bought you 4 coffees. This is for Bond. Every day I'm grateful. I used to go to church to feel good, but now when I listen to a fellowship, I'm glad to feel the ego death. Thank God for Jesse and crew.
Thank you. Stay with it, and thank for your support. Merry Christmas.
GRATEFUL. Grateful.
Grateful.
Danny Moore bought a coffee. Hello, Jesse and the lads. Jesse, when doing the silent prayer, is it all right to think in practical thoughts? Keep up the great work, lads. Merry Christmas to you and the listeners. Strong arm emoji.
Amazing. What does that mean when doing the prayers? All right, thinking practical thought.
When doing the silent pray, is it all right to think in practical thoughts?
Like while they're sitting there praying?
Yeah.
I don't quite understand that question, but if you're sitting there and you're observing and practical thoughts come, just let them pass. And you only need practical thoughts as a tool. You know, buy lunch, buy dinner, make breakfast, whatever. Work on your car, work on whatever. It's just a tool. When you're done with those things, you're done with those thoughts for right then. You just don't want to get into those thoughts that bring on false emotions, good one or bad one, that keep you in hell. Stay away from the imagination. Did you know, thank you, did you know that the intellect is totally the enemy of God and hate God?
Dang. It makes a lot of sense. Intellectuals, what a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's interesting, though, because, like, when you do get a quiet moment, you remember stuff that you're supposed to do that you said you're going to do, or you're something that's a little bit out of the ordinary from your normal habits, but it's something that you needed to get done.
Right.
So it's good to have quiet moments throughout the day so that you can think of those things.
Yes.
And not forget all that stuff.
Yep.
Like if somebody says, hey, could you go to the store and pick up this on your way in? And you always forget it because you're always rushing.
Yeah. That's right. We slow down. You start to get everything done in the right way.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I have a good friend, and I keep telling them to slow down, just slow down, because they're on the right track. Definitely one was right, but they won't slow down.
Crazy.
Like, what now?
Seems pretty common.
All right. Thank you.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLPtalk, Rake He Port bought our coffee. How do I start and grow a business if I'm not supposed to think about the future and just do what's in front of me?
Well, you're not supposed to think about the future because there is no future. The future is now. All you have is right now. And so when you start your business, just do right now what you need to do in the business. And one thing will lead to another, and you're going to start using practical thoughts in a business. Oh, I can do this to make the business grow. Or I can do that. Or I should not do this. It become easy. It's just like a tool. Just work on your business now and let tomorrow take care of itself. Amazing. Thank you.
Urinal Chill says, remember, Jesse says you don't love nobody till you go and forgive your mama and your daddy. The proof is in the pudding. That's why divorce surged.
I know divorces are a mess. Did you know that after you got married 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, it goes up?
The divorces go up and higher and higher. Yeah, that makes sense.
70% of people that have been married over 3 times get a divorce.
Once you quit once or twice, it's easier and easier.
And then downhill from there.
You just become a quitter.
We'll finish these super chats when we come back, and then your phone calls. Merry Christmas. Back in a moment. Amazing. Thank you. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God. It is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. All right, folks, welcome back. Check out our merch. Go to rebuildingaman.com/store and check out the merch. Amazing merch. Mugs and T-shirts and hoodies and everything. Amazing gifts. Also, better get cold. Betas get cold. Santa Claus, amazing. And also check the books, amazing books. From Racial Responsibility, Scam, How the Black Leadership Has Flourished Black America, The 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual Finance, Family Financial Success Guide, and The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. And yes, I will sign them to whomever you say Astros sign them to. All right? We'll get them out. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Christmas is Monday. And then New Year's. All right? And don't forget to subscribe and follow the JLP Radio Network on YouTube and Instagram. Run, don't walk. Does my shirt look like a country western shirt?
It looks like a rapper.
It reminds me of those, when I lived in the South, they used to do those car racing things.
Oh, yeah, NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I used to see people wearing these kind of shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a NASCAR meets rapper.
It has all the names of all the amazing cars.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it feels like a rapper.
Those are fake.
What?
Those are fake.
What?
Those are fake.
I can't hear you.
Those are fake.
Those are fake.
What are fake?
That one says benzo instead of Benz.
Right.
BMI instead of BMW. Audi something instead of normal Audi.
You ought to quit.
They're Mercedes instead of Mercedes.
Right.
Mercedes Dems. Punisher instead of Ferrari. Something like that.
What the?
Oh, maybe that's even more why I thought it was rapper related.
So it's knockoff. That's how they get away with putting all those imitation
I knew
things.
I knew it was country and western, so I thought about the car racing stuff. I'm gonna go car racing country.
Nice.
Car racing country today. Joel said the white man always trying to bring the black man down.
That's me.
Yeah. But it's hard on the white man in America today.
Yeah.
It's hard. Oh, let me tell you this. Something that's mind-blowing to me, unless I don't understand it. In Los Angeles, the L.A. Lakers, there's a basketball team called the L.A. Lakers, right?
Yes.
Is that true?
True.
Yeah.
Correct.
And they just hired, I think it was the Lakers. I may have the wrong team. but they hired a Japanese or a Chinaman.
He stopped himself from saying Chinaman.
Oh, there we go.
Los Angeles Dodgers?
No, it was the Lakers. It was on the basketball team.
Okay.
Oh, no, it may be the Dodgers.
Baseball?
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. They hired, it's the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, I think he's saying so. He knows.
He try to look decent. He don't care about looking indecent at the office. He want to look decent on the radio.
I didn't want to give away my shirt that I'm going to wear on the show today.
Oh. That's what you going to wear?
Your face is getting blocked out by Santa Claus.
But I like to...
Come over this way more, I think.
I like to only show the audience what I'm going to wear on the show.
So the shirt you have on right now under that jacket is what you're going to wear on the show?
On the show, and they don't know it yet, and I don't want to reveal my outfit yet.
Well, thank God they don't know, because if they saw that, they won't tune in.
Whatever. So
it's the L.A. Dodgers.
Yeah, it's the Dodgers. His name is Shohei Ohtani, and he's a Japanese baseball player.
Oh, well, they all look the same to me.
Yeah.
But they paying this guy $700 million to play ball, and he doesn't speak English.
I know. Over a 10-year contract.
Is he an illegal alien?
But he's only getting like 12 a year, right? Something like that?
It's over 10 years,
He
so
doesn't
700.
speak English. He shouldn't even be getting $12.
He's a great baseball player.
Hey, that much baseball playing in the world.
So he's the next Hideo Nomo.
I don't know, but
they don't know more what.
Nomo was, when I was in high school, Nomo was a Japanese pitcher for some baseball team.
But how do they pay this foreigner $700 million? He doesn't even speak English. Come on, man.
Because of his talent, but it's crazy, but I understand why they want to do it.
Why?
It's because he's like a pitcher, but he's also great at hitting. So typically in baseball, if you're a pitcher, you're not supposed to hit, and you're normally not good at the best hitter. But he can hit, he can pitch, he can play infield. He does like all kinds of.
But he a foreigner.
things.
Well, that's the main reason, is because he's Asian. There's a big Asian population in L.A., so jersey sales, how they get that money back.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good.
Is that true?
It's a business move for them for sure.
Yeah, I saw on the local news where they said a lot of shirts.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't speak English. He had to have
English.
In order to say thank you for the money.
Yeah.
He had to have an interpreter.
It's shishi.
That's Chinese, I think.
Yeah.
Talk about robbing
or
a bank.
Mandarin or something.
$700 million to a foreigner.
Yeah. How much is that over 10 years?
I'm never getting my country
I don't know,
back.
but I think that he's getting it. He's doing it smart so that he doesn't spend it all.
Yeah, but they definitely they offered that they begged him.
Beg him to what?
To come to the Dodgers.
I heard that he might pass on the Dodgers.
No, he's
No,
already
he's
on
accepted.
there. He accepted it.
He's all in.
Today? Yesterday?
No,
last
past
week.
couple of weeks he's been.
Last week for sure, when I saw it on the
It's
local news.
official though for sure.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay, there's another Japanese.
So you
who
get
might pass on the
$70 million a
Dodgers.
year. $70 million a year he's making.
It's the Dodgers. Crazy.
No, I don't think that's the. I thought I saw a thing that he's getting it restricted, so he's not getting that much right away.
No, he decided, according to the report, that he didn't want all of it right now. He wanted to take it over a period.
Yeah.
So that they can hire some more folks or something.
It's for sure $700 million over 10 years. So
Right.
how they distribute that is I don't know.
If they had offered you $700 million, would you say, "Oh, just pay me bit by bit," or give me all my $700 million right now?
Bit by bit. I don't know what I'll be able to do. I buy every car on your shirt.
I'll take my $700 million now just in case I break an arm or a leg.
Oh, true.
And
True. They try to change it
And they
up.
say,
on
"Oh, you
I know,
can't
because
play."
money's not going to be
That's
worth as
true.
much later down the road.
What?
Money's
That's
not going to
true.
be worth as much down the road.
Whatever.
That's true. Give it all now.
$700 million to a foreigner that doesn't even speak English.
To be honest, I think that's overcharge in general for sports. I don't think sports is that important. I don't think it's ever been that important.
It's like a drug for those folks that into
watch it. Yeah,
they love it because they get high. They forget their problems,
and they love it more than the actual players love playing.
Yeah, and then they forget their problem while the man hitting the ball. But as soon as the ball is gone and the game is over, they go back to their sadness. Their fears.
Oh, he's getting, according to Big Bump, who knows baseball, he's taking payment as a deferment, $2 million a year, then $680 million after the contract ends.
Wow. Thank you, Big Bump.
Yeah.
What the?
I knew it was something small.
Interesting.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't taking
$2 million a year. That's pretty small.
Anyway, what a mess.
But his nickname is Showtime.
It's Showtime with all that money.
Because his name is Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah,
right?
how old is he?
Showtime. 29.
Is he going to buy his mama a house?
That's crazy.
Is he going to buy his mama a house? You know how black people do the first thing they do about mama a house. One last thing. Are the other players jealous of this man coming there and getting
He's the highest paid sports athlete in the United States in all sports. Baseball, football, basketball, he's the highest paid. And he's not even from here. So they got to be jealous.
What's the name of that guy that played tennis?
LeBron James makes more than LeBron James.
But LeBron James,
LeBron James.
Is he mad?
He probably.
Amazing. What a mess. I got to take some calls.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Real quick, this is a little off subject, but there's a guy, I got to find the clip, but there's a basketball player who said that he didn't even have a house yet. And he bought his mother a house before he even had anything.
What a beta. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Is it Misty? What? Mr. J? Mr. J out of Arkansas. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All is well, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to y'all. And
Thank you.
that's all I was calling about was just to tell y'all Merry Christmas.
Right on,
Shout
man.
out to Hassan. Shout out to the chat. Yep.
Right on. Merry Christmas from all of us.
Yep. I appreciate what you do. Appreciate all you guys.
Thank
you. So
you.
y'all have a Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, buddy. Amazing. 888-775-3773. There's a line open. Let me go to Ronnie out of Ohio. Ronnie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Uncle Jesse, Merry Christmas. How you doing?
All is well, sir. Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. I wanted to respond to the biblical question, but could I give a shout out to Sean before I do that?
To Sean, my producer?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that was him. Yeah, was that him talking last week about the breathing exercises and like breathing through your nose?
Yeah. Yes.
That was really beneficial.
So
I was on hold when he was talking about it, and I just sat there and I had just started practicing it then, and ever since I kind of been more conscious and more aware about how I'm breathing and trying to make sure that I am constantly doing it through the nose.
And beforehand, you were breathing just from the mouth for the most part?
It depended on what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like if I was in motion or, but and then you guys, piggybacking on you guys talking about slowing down, it helps me slow down throughout the day because there are times where I'm kind of like running around with a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah.
But being able to be more aware of the breathing, it's like, all right, we'll get this stuff done. We just got to be, either more organized with time or delegating.
That's amazing. When you are sleeping, do you sleep with your mouth open or you breathe through? Do you breathe through your nose or through your mouth?
It's not the best. Yep, it's not the best. I think I do both.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was very interesting when he was saying that the other day. I've been paying attention to myself since he mentioned that as well.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, even if I know he said he could talk a lot more about it. I ended up doing like a little bit more reading about it in some downtime, and I was like, oh yeah, this is real beneficial. So that was something that was real good to take me through the weekend.
Right on, man. Amazing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but I did want to respond to the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care about what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to?
I don't think that we are. I don't think we're supposed to care what people say or think about us.
And do you?
I don't.
Have you ever?
As a kid, yeah. Just because, being in school or being around other kids, you might be teased for things. And then there's always a lot of conversations about people and not necessarily ideas. So you would have to kind of be worried about it because you would have to prepare for it. But I would say as an adult, I'm not in those environments really anymore. So
how were you able to overcome it?
I didn't have to deal with it. I found myself in positions where if there aren't many people who have opinions or things to say about me that I truly care about.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me. People can say what they want or think what they want. I have to kind of go about my day the way I'm supposed to go about my day and my life and so on and so forth.
That's amazing. Well, I appreciate you responding to that, Ronnie, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Ronnie, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever heard that the Jews own everything and everybody's afraid of the Jews because they're afraid of what they may lose?
I've heard some people say that before, yes.
If that's true, why is it that the Palestinians and the blacks and the whites who are protesting against the Jews and the people in the university who won't stop the rallies, how come they're not afraid of the Jews?
I don't want to assume that statement about them is true.
Yeah.
I know you said if that's true, you know, how do they do that? I'm like, I don't even know if that's true.
I don't either.
I've heard some people say it before.
I've heard it too, but I'm like, if they sure don't act like they're afraid of the Jews. Even the woman from Harvard, the head of Harvard there, whatever she does, she didn't even get fired for not defending the Jews. She still has her job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how people come to be presidents of universities and the types of things that they have to do as far as training and preparing or, you know, having the right last name. I don't marrying the right person. I don't know how they get to those positions.
According to reports about that woman from Harvard, she's black, she's female, so she's a affirmative action profile. That's how she got it. She didn't have to earn it, according to the report.
I was gonna say I don't know anything about her.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you about I couldn't really tell you anything about any president of these colleges around here.
I know
colleges and universities.
What a mess! Thank you, Ronnie, and Merry Christmas, man.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas. Have a good one.
All right. Amazing. Sarah is a first-time caller out of Texas. Sarah, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. A shout out from Texas.
Good morning. Shout out.
I don't have a question for you today, but I do have a comment.
Okay. Are you a first-time caller?
Yes, sir. I'm a first-time caller.
Right on.
I thank God I discovered you in June or July of this year, and I'm currently going through my third year of divorce. And I was telling the gentleman who
you say you're going through your third year of divorce?
Yeah, in Texas the courts are backlogged, so it's because of COVID.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it's taking a long time. But I was always I've always been a being raised I was a tomboy. I'm still a tomboy. I own my own business in what's generally considered a man's business. I'm a carpenter. But I was married to a man for 15 years. And when I discovered you, I was like, oh, it blew my mind away. And this is really, I want the young men out there to know this. I'm closer to your age. I'm
you're young.
50s. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in my 50s. But I was married for 15 years to a man that was 14 years younger than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
he pursued me, and you know, it was just that. It was convenient for him in that I already was established. I had my home, I had my cars.
Yeah.
I had been a single mom for 10 years. So I was seeing it, and the outside world kind of could have said, well, all he did was move in, and he had it easy. I can never say the man didn't work. He would work and everything. The thing is, for the younger gentlemen out there, don't fall for that trap, because it is hell. I'm woman enough to be honest. It is hell when you marry an older woman. And it's so uncomfortable for me, the so-called cougar. I always felt like I was raising him.
Yep.
And by listening to you, it just kind of like, okay, it answered a lot of questions I had, and a lot of questions I didn't even know I had. And I'm honest woman enough to know and to tell the world that you speak the truth when it comes to women's emotion and all that.
Yeah.
And it's stuff that I didn't even realize it until I heard it. And I could not walk away from what you're teaching. It's true.
Yeah. And the reason you know that is true, because you can see it in yourself. And once you see it, nobody can make you unsee it.
And yes, and I'm godly enough or close enough to God where I'll admit it.
Yes.
The first time I heard you say a 14-year-old woman, you're married to mama, I literally felt like a slap to my face. I literally felt, and I wanted to never hear you again.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, who is this dude, this California dude trying to, I don't, you know, he's been, you know, you've been away from Alabama too long. But no, I couldn't. Something in me didn't let me put it down. Did not let me turn. Because when I'm working, I have podcasts on Joe Rogan, you know, now that I discovered you. And I have recommended you so many times to young men that I meet, you know, and I'll send them that, you know, because I'm older, they like gravitate towards me for advice and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're so beta.
Yeah.
So they're so beta that if I wanted to date some of these young men that are probably, some of them are 20 years younger than me, I could.
You make an interesting point, is that when you were married to this guy with him, it was like you were always raising him. He was the boy and you were the mama. And that's how it is. That's why you shouldn't marry a woman older. You marry your mama. Exactly. And you know what, to prove it, and I'll admit this, he always went out to give on Mother's Day. I always felt weird. Why is it so? But I never said anything. On Mother's Day, I would get a dozen roses, but nicer roses, you know, than his, that he would give his mom. I always thought that was weird. It would make me, it would make me feel uncomfortable. I can imagine. What the?
Yeah, what the?
Boy,
so my advice is for young men to listen to you. It's true. Older women can make it very attractive. You know, he did. I honestly tell you, he pursued me. But but then it was a life. You know, I had 15 years on him on working, so of course I had, you know, the house, the cars, you know, the lifestyle, and because he was a beta, it was so easy for him just to. And not easy. He wanted it. He did not, you know. And I can't say the man didn't work. He did. He's a really good provider. But then I finished raising him. My friends would laugh and say, "Oh, Sarah, you just finished raising him."
Did you have any kids with him?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I
good.
did not have kids.
Good.
Yeah.
Sarah, amazing call. Thank you for that. I'm glad that you said it out loud, because a lot of guys are doing the same thing and they regret it later, and so does the woman. So absolutely, thank you for that.
You're welcome. And don't fall for women that are in their early 40s and late 30s. They're beautiful. I mean, we're at our roses, so the young man will fall in love with that. But it doesn't last very long. Beauty does not last very long.
Yeah.
Steve,
thank you
for calling,
Sarah.
and thanks for holding.
How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought knowing that you are not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world, am I right? This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Tuesday, Country and Western Tuesday, December 19th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 3. Last hour of JLP is coming right up. Back to your calls and more great stories. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, not fake news. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports. Black affirmative action. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin met with senior Israeli officials Monday to discuss pathways toward a future for Gaza after Hamas and the need to take urgent action to stabilize the West Bank. His comments come as the U.S. continues to put pressure on Israel to transition to a more targeted campaign to reduce civilian casualties. Nearly 19,500 people have been killed by Israeli military action in Gaza since October 7th, according to the Hamas-controlled Ministry of Health. Austin on Monday, Lloyd Austin, that is, black, announced, shout out to the blacks, announced a U.S.-led operation focusing on security challenges in the southern Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, following recent attacks by Houthi forces on commercial marine traffic in the region. They've been raiding the ships. Pirates, kind of. The Houthis are claiming that the attacks on commercial ships are revenge against Israel. And storms blowing through, a nor'easter maybe. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, says at least 4 people are dead after a powerful storm lashed the northeast of the United States on Monday, knocking out power for more than 620,000 homes and businesses from Connecticut to Maine. More than 60 million people under winter weather alerts after the storm system unleashed dangerous flooding that has engulfed cars, prompted water rescues, and disrupted travel across the region. Cold temperatures and concentrated snowfall expected in several states today as crews begin to survey the damage in flooded communities. Conditions have prompted several school closures in New Hampshire and Maine. Fully restoring power to some areas may take several days. China had a deadly earthquake too, by the way. Pray for China. CNN and the Skim reports. Yesterday, state media said a 6.2 magnitude earthquake struck northwestern China, killed at least 118 people, and injured more than 300 others. And there was an Iceland volcano too, but it didn't kill anybody that I know of. A volcano in Iceland erupted Monday, sending lava and plumes of smoke into the night sky, threatening a town near the country's famous Blue Lagoon geothermal spa. The eruption on the Reykjanes Peninsula around the 10 p.m. local time, following an earthquake around an hour earlier, the Icelandic Meteorological Office said. Can I speak? I don't know. Thousands of people evacuated the town of Grindavik last month as the threat of volcanic eruption loomed. Since the area is now clear of residents, officials said the eruption does not pose a threat to life, but could damage nearby homes. So pray for Iceland, or Iceland. Election shenanigans, according to CNN. 4 countries tried to meddle in the 2022 U.S. midterm elections, according to newly declassified intelligence, so-called assessment. China, Russia, Iran, and Cuba all conducted various forms of influence operations, just like the mainstream media here in America that's very un-American and un-Christian, the assessment found. This included mimicking American voters on the internet, provoking divisive discussions to damage the integrity of the results. Very un-American and communist mainstream media and deep state, but shout out to those people, the deep state and the mainstream media. Student loans mess. Nearly 9 million student loan borrowers, I call them leeches, Shout out. In the United States, missed their first payment after the scam-demic-related pause ended this fall. Wow, $9 million, according to the Department of Education, which should have been disbanded under Reagan. This means 40% of the 22 million borrowers who had bills due in October did not make payments by mid-November. Wow, they're the lamos. Need to take a finger for every day that they're late. I'm just kidding. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. There's a line open if you want it, 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My brand new biblical question for this week. The brand new biblical question. Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care? I want to know. I can't figure that one out. I'm stuck on that one. I don't know why. And a lot of people do. And they think they're supposed to, and I don't know if they're supposed to or not, but why are we supposed to? A brand new biblical question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show, jesseleepeterson.com/show. And you can also, if you're working out, making breakfast, lunch, or dinner, laying up at a beach, buying fentanyl or depressed. I heard a report that a lot of pilots are depressed and they're afraid to let the bosses know because they don't want to lose their job. What the? But whatever your situation is, and you're not able to watch the show live, you want a podcast later, you can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. And follow us, JLP Talk on X, and cozy.tv/JLP. Cozy, where Christ is King. Cozy.tv/JLP. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. It's Tuesday, the last hour of the show on this Tuesday. It is, and a lot of you love the country western music. Thank you. Now we play Christmas music and all that. It is Country and Western Tuesday. When I was a little bitty baby, my mama used to rock me in the cradle. In that old cotton field back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texas County. In that old cotton field back home. Amazing! Country and Western Tuesday. Amazing. Country and Western Tuesday. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Hassan, thank you, man. Jesse is got on his Santa Claus hat today.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Thanks to Danny from the meeting.
Oh, he brought the hat?
I believe so.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. Amazing. Let me go to another Daniel, first time call out of Baltimore. Daniel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse.
Hey, Daniel.
How are you?
All is well. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask a question, like, because, you know, like, in the Bible it says those will be given the gift of tongues and those will be given gifts to interpret tongues. So I just wanted to, like, pick your brain on, like, why you don't believe necessarily in speaking in tongues, basically.
Because it's evil.
But the Holy Spirit, but in the Bible it says that some will be given the gift. So are you saying, like, it's evil? Like,
yeah, I want you to think about this idea. Somebody told the members of the church that you're supposed to speak in tongues. And so here you are speaking in tongues, but you have no idea, no clue as to what you're saying, but somebody else sitting over yonder somewhere understand it, but you don't. And they have to get up and interpret it. Does that make sense to you?
I'll have to smoke on it.
Do you speak in tongues?
Yeah, I recently learned how to.
What?
Yes, I recently learned how to.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
And so you're 19 and you recently learned how to. Who taught you how to do it?
At church.
At church?
Yeah.
What made you fall for that?
Because I believe they say, like, it's true, it builds your spirit.
When you, and how did they teach you? What were the steps? What did they do?
Like, you hear them do it, and then, like, you just copy them, and, you know, eventually you develop your own voice through the spirit. Because I know there's difference between praying in the spirit, and there's difference between, like, just speaking in tongues.
But you just copy them and they teach you how to copy them at first?
Yeah, it's like learning to ride a bike, right? So it's like training wheels at first, but then eventually you have to practice it on your own.
Do you think that if God had wanted you to be doing that mess, if God had wanted you to speak in tongues, he would need somebody to teach you, or would he show you? Would he cause you to do it?
I mean, I see how you're trying to explain. I think God will try to show us himself.
So why would you believe that somebody else has to show you how to do it if you believe God will show you?
Because some people have more, like, insight in the spirit than younger believers.
Amazing. And so you were feeling silly when you started doing it?
At first, yeah, but then you get used to it.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Yeah, I have.
You went and forgave her?
Mm-hmm.
What did she say?
She was like, what did I do? What did I do wrong?
And did you tell her?
Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry for his sentences. It wasn't your fault.
Did you go and forgive your father for not protecting you from her?
Yeah.
And how'd that go?
He, like, didn't really pay attention to it like that. Yeah.
And so you're 19, you say?
Yeah.
Are you still living at home with mama?
Yeah.
But you doing all that speaking in tongues and you can't get your own apartment?
I'm in college right now, so I'm just...
That's not a reason to stay at home with mama?
I'm just trying to get an internship right now so that I can, start earning money.
Speak up for me.
I'm trying to get an internship right now because, like, I want to get into the tech field so I can make a lot of money, so I can make boohoo money.
So you don't have a job at all?
Right now, I have something to sustain myself. Yes, I do.
Oh, you have something that you can make money with?
Yeah, just something like.
All right. Well, make sure you don't stay around Mama too long. You're going to be speaking in tongue at 90 years old with Mama.
I'll try not to.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Mm-hmm. Morning and night.
Oh, okay. Stay with that and watch those thoughts. And you will see if you need to still continue to do that crazy stuff, speaking in tongue mess. But that's not from God at all.
Oh, wow.
God is clear. He wouldn't have you to say stuff that you don't even understand yourself.
Mm.
And then when you say it, and then somebody over yonder, the preacher or one of the sisters in the church interpret it, you don't even know if they're telling the truth or not. They'll just be saying stuff that sounds good to you, it sounds good to them, and it'll just be all emotional and it has nothing to do with God.
Mm. Okay.
All right. So next time
Can I ask a biblical question?
What?
Can I answer the biblical question?
Yes. Next time somebody speaks tongue in front of you, give them the finger. Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care?
I think we're supposed to care because, like, it gives us insight, because sometimes, like, there's things that people outside of us can see about ourselves that we can't see about ourselves directly, because you're looking from an outside perspective. So I think sometimes it's just important to listen to them so we can make corrections and so we can better ourselves.
So do you care what people say or think about you?
It depends.
Some things you do and some things you don't?
Yeah.
Amazing. I'll put my little 2 cents on Sunday. Very interesting question, Daniel, about speaking in tongue. So just do your little speaking in tongue, and when you're done praying to the devil, be still and know God. Do the silent prayer, all right?
All right.
Merry Christmas, Daniel.
Merry Christmas to you.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Let me go quickly. There's a line open. We got to get as many calls and the super chats here in a minute. Let me go to Michael, first-time caller out of Connecticut. Let's see here. Michael, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse Lee Peterson.
Hey,
it's a
Michael.
pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you, man. You too.
So I called because I'm having issues with my 24-year marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just say, first of all, that I've forgiven my mother. And she knew why. I then forgave my father for not protecting me from my mother. And peace that I've never felt before came over me.
Yes.
And it was fantastic.
Amazing.
And I thank you.
You're welcome, man. Stay with it.
Oh, absolutely. I do it morning and night. I don't have any more. There's no more crowding in my head about. There's no that conscience ridiculousness, which is not obviously my thoughts. I really don't have anything going on.
Right on, man.
With that, yeah. So it dissipated immediately. Pornography gone. Been 5 years since I even looked at it. Have no desire. So
when you stay with the silent prayer and watch, it's gonna. You haven't seen anything, Michael. It gets clearer and clearer and clearer. It become amazing.
I wish it would become more amazing because, quite frankly, I have 4 children. I've been married for 24 years. My wife is highly educated.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Why did you marry an educated woman? Knowing
she wasn't educated. She wasn't that educated when I married her.
And so you let her go and get educated? What a baby.
Okay, yes. What do you mean I didn't let her? I mean, I kind of happened. She got more educated, and she got her associates, and then she got her bachelor's, and then she got her
Why you let her get
master's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why did you let that happen?
I didn't really feel like I let it happen. I didn't feel like I let it happen with Jesse. I gotta be honest with you. I didn't think I let it happen.
But why would you let her go to school and get off? Go ahead. Now that what?
Well, she wanted to go to school. So what? I'm going to stop her from going to school?
Yes.
I can't stop her.
Yes, you can. That's your wife.
Okay. Yes. Okay. She is my wife, and she should obey me.
Does she obey you?
Listen to what I say. No. No.
Well, why did you marry a woman that would not obey you, knowing that she was not going to be a good wife or mother?
Darn good question. She is a good mother, though.
If she doesn't obey her,
I understand that. I understand. Yes. Yeah, that's black and white. I understand. There's no gray there. I get it. Wow. Well, I'm stumped. I don't know. I'm stumped on that.
Oh, okay. So your question for me today is what?
Well, I mean, I've been deceived. So, obviously this started in hell to begin with, and I know that.
Yeah.
To begin with, how we started. And, yes, we've been in hell ever since, I suppose, and, pointed some stuff out, but I was deceived, probably about 3 weeks ago in reference to where my wife was going after work, and met up with a man at a bar to discuss what was going on with her marriage, outside of her marriage. And this person that she went with, she dated in high school. Okay. So she proceeded to formulate it was like a premeditated lie to me, in order to meet with him. And they went out for drinks, and they just hugged after they had drinks, and they went their separate ways. But the fact that she met a man at all outside of the marriage and lied to me, I had taken out her clothes and brought them to her sister's house immediately, because I told her if that ever happened that I'm not gonna put up with it, obviously. So, but so that's what I'm dealing with right now. And I've been in hell. I've lost my temper. And I told you I have peace inside, right? But there's turmoil outside of that. And obviously it's evil. So I'm just trying to figure out how to deal with it, Jesse.
So your wife has moved out now? You put her out?
No, she's still here.
So, but
we went and got her clothes back and brought them back in.
I was about to say, you put the clothes up, but not her? What the?
What the?
And so
that's amazing.
Now that she's back, what's happening?
Nothing good. I'm not sleeping, that's for sure, and she's not sleeping. And I mean, there's some good things happening as far as her problem was I wasn't spending enough time with her, so I'm spending more time trying to do stuff.
Why are you doing that? That's not going to make things worse. It's going to make it worse. She's not a baby. She doesn't need you to spend time. You got to take care of the family.
Okay.
Why are you doing that part? That's number one. Why are you trying to spend time with her? All she's doing is taking control of you, and she's going to hate you that she can control you that way.
It's true. No, you're absolutely right.
So why are you doing that? You're going from one bad thing to another one.
So am I supposed to, should I leave?
No, why are you trying to spend more time with her? You know that's not good.
That's what she's, right, I do. I know it's not good because it's doing what she wants to do when everything happened because of her actions.
Right, and every time you listen to the woman, you suffer.
I know. And prior to that, and then, of course, I'm getting stuff thrown in my face about things that weren't done 20 years ago, let's say. And I'm like, why are you keeping score? I don't understand. I told her years ago to stop keeping score because that's not what a marriage is about,
But that's what women do. They judge, and they never forget. They live off that. That's why a man should never tell a woman his problems.
Ego.
Yeah.
Ego. Yeah, I shouldn't have told her my problems. You got that right.
And so, did she admit she was wrong for what she did?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
good. And so it's hard to forgive her?
I did forgive her, but I'm not going to forget right now because it's too fresh in my mind. It's been about 3-4 weeks.
But if you're not if you have forgiven her, you don't remember that. Forgive means to forget.
Okay.
Do you believe her when she said she was wrong, she was sorry?
Yes.
And so you need to let it go then. Why don't you let it go?
Okay.
Why don't you let it go?
I'll let it go.
No, but why haven't you?
Why haven't I?
Yeah. If she
probably just a man
said,
thing.
I was wrong, I'm sorry. That's not a man thing. That's a woman thing to hold on to emotions like that.
Oh, damn. Sorry. Oops. Oh, Lord help me. Yeah. You're right. I got to let go.
If she really said, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and you can see that she's truly sorry, you need to let it go. And just before you do something else crazy.
I already did for the last 3 weeks, so yeah.
What'd you do?
Just stuff, just losing my temper, just doing stuff that, I shouldn't have done.
So here's what I recommend. This situation, Michael, is the best thing that ever happened to you to this day. Because it is allowing you to see the false self inside of you. Your ego is having a hissy fit right now. It's mad. It's acting up. It is overwhelming your head with thoughts. It making you, trying to cause you to do things you'll regret later. And you should be glad to see all this stuff going on inside of you and know that it's not you and just watch it. Don't take it out on her. Don't punish yourself. Just watch it so you can die from this false nature that made a home in you when your mother traumatized you. That's possession. That's evil. And that's what every human being has, except for a few will overcome this, but most won't. So this is really good for you so you can overcome the fate you.
Yes. Damn devil.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the devil inside of your mind and emotions. And he is having a fit because he wants you to enslave yourself even more so. And he can make a home in you. He wants you to destroy your family.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yep. Absolutely.
So what I would recommend is that you just stay quiet. Don't take it out on her at all. Don't share with her what you're going through in your mind and emotions. Quietly go through it, and the light of God inside of you that is allowing you to see this not you will rebuke. He'll take that spirit away from you.
Okay.
And it's because you're so identified with it, it may get really painful and seem to be hard, but just relax and go through it anyway, and you will never have to deal with this again, no matter what your wife did or does.
Okay.
So just
by the way, I did call the counseling, and I did actually put in for counseling.
Oh, okay.
The best counseling on this side of heaven.
Nice.
So
okay. Well, we'll talk more in private then. You can give me a little more information and we can work with it. But for now, watch those thoughts and don't call those thoughts and feelings you. They are not you.
It's not thoughts. It's just the feeling. It's not thoughts. I have nothing going on there.
Well, you can't have the feelings unless you have the thoughts.
Really?
Yeah, you just
because I don't feel. Okay, but I don't feel. I'm just telling you what my mind.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. Like there's no conscience speaking. There's no thought that is not mine speaking to me.
Right.
But I do feel that terrible evil emotion.
Right. Well, if you pay attention, you're just not catching them before they come, and the emotions confirm the thoughts. That's how you know you're having thoughts. You're just not catching them in time, so you don't see them yet.
Okay.
But pay attention, and you will.
Okay. I definitely will. Jesse, you are amazing.
Oh, amazing. And listen.
Amazing.
Don't try to punish your wife. Don't try to get revenge. Don't play games.
I already punished her. I did that already, and I regret it. So.
Did you apologize for that?
I did. I said I was sorry. I took her by her hands, and I told her I was sorry, and I just got to go forward. So.
Yeah, but don't be wimpy with it. Hey, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong.
No, wimpy. I get it. I get it. So, but yeah, definitely. It's a fight between good and evil. There's no doubt about it. And evil definitely wants to break up the family.
Yes, and it's happening inside of you, Michael. She got her issues too, but everything that's happening right now is happening inside of you, and that's what you want to overcome.
Yes. I went to my kids and I apologized to them, and I told them if they are harboring any kind of resentment towards me or anything like that, please forgive me. I apologize for everything I've done, being short with them or any of that stuff.
Right on.
So I want to make sure that they have peace and that they're ready to go because they're all almost grown now.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Good, man. Well, do the silent prayer for now. We'll stay with it forever. Good. Do the silent prayer. And just watch what's happening inside of you and don't take it out on anyone else because it's not your wife's fault.
No, I'm pushing her away. Yeah, I'm pushing her away, Jesse.
Yeah,
and I totally agree with what you're saying. Absolutely.
And because the devil's going to tell her, oh, he put all this pressure on you.
No, it does. Yeah, no, she's got an ego too. Don't get me. I may have a hurt ego because of whatever happened.
Yeah.
They stroke her ego at the where she works. So
yeah.
Yeah, and letting go of stuff is not something that she's willing to do right this very second. But I'm hoping God will give her discernment and be able to have her see the light. So as myself,
well,
because we got married in the eyes of God. So
no, you got married in the eyes of Satan, and you call him God.
Man, all right, you're right. You're right again. All right, Jesse, you got me. You're right again.
So, did you make her what? Quit the job. Oh, how come you letting her work?
Oh, Lord. I don't want to let her work, but things have not worked out the way I've wanted them to. So I am working on it. I'm working.
All right. But listen, what a beta.
Oh, man. Did you just call me a beta?
Beta.
That's so messed up, dude. Beta.
So listen, from this point forward, Michael, stop the war. Don't argue with her anymore. Lay your weapons down.
I'm not. Absolutely.
Don't argue with her. Don't bring up that incident anymore.
Okay.
Don't apologize anymore. And just work on you. You want to overcome her. You want to overcome the world. So this is giving you a perfect opportunity. Now that you see all this hell that's still in you, but it's not you, it needs to die. You must be born again, right? It needs to die. So just work on you, quietly work on you. No matter how it try to make you overreact, don't do it.
Not doing it.
All right.
Not doing it anymore. I'm done.
And just work
Not
on you.
doing it anymore. Okay.
All right, man.
All right. Jesse, thank you so much. Amazing.
Amazing. Merry Christmas, and we'll talk in counseling, all right?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if I don't talk to you. Thank you very much.
You too, buddy. Amazing.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye now. Amazing. There's a line open, 888-775-3773. Super chat.
Super chat.
Super
chats. WD41 donated a ninja sled. Very generous. I'm podcasting yesterday's show while climbing over Hadrian's Wall to sneak into Scotland.
Nice. Be careful. Amazing. Thank you.
Urinal Chills is a monthly supporter on Rumble. Ain't got no chimney here in Florida.
You don't have a chimney on you? Is he black?
Must be.
Are you black? Ain't got no chill?
I don't know. Urinal Chills.
Urinal Chills. I hope you're joking. I can't believe you must live in the hood.
John with an F.
Thank you.
Rumble rant. Awesome shirt, Mr. Peterson. You got all the cars. Like yesterday, hopefully all cars drive the way you are. We are calmly, cautiously, not bothering anyone and building an unimportant, pleasant image of ourselves with another Rumble rant.
Amazing. Thank you. Let me take a quick break. I'll come back and I'll finish the super chats and phone calls. We're going to get to as many calls as possible, all right? Let me take a quick break. Back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone, and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, folks. The Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, H-A-K-E report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 11 today, Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday TV. And he has on an amazing shirt. He was on a few minutes ago with us, and he would hide his shirt because he didn't want y'all to see it until his show. You're going to be stunned. Joel Friday have us on. Hassan and I, we went out there. Hey, and that's the shirt? His shirt, they're going to put Hake shirt to shame.
Get ready to be overwhelmed.
Oh, Siri's talking. Be quiet, Siri. Nobody talking to you. Amazing shirt.
What the?
Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. So y'all want, if you don't do nothing else but tune in and take a look at the shirt.
He's saying LOL. Stop.
Stop this right now, he says. LOL. All right, Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. from 11 to noon. And then the American Anchor Baby at noon, 12 Pacific time. The American Anchor Baby flying high on energy given to him by God. All right? And don't forget, it's giving time, the end of the year. So we are a nonprofit. Bond is, and you can donate to Bond and get a tax write-off. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. Or you can send it, mail in a chat, P.O. Box 35090, L.A., California, 90035. P.O. Box 35090, L.A., California, 90035. All right? So let me just do this before we get back to the Super Chats and phone call. Hassan gave me a sweet potato cookie. A vegan sweet potato cookie. And you say this is good, Hassan?
Oh, man, it's out of sight.
It's out of sight. A sweet potato He won't tell me what make it so good.
It's just out of sight. Sweet potato pie cookie? What more could you ask for?
Oh, I broke it off, but here's the cookie.
Wow.
I broke it so you can see the sweet potato inside and on the outside. And I'm about to take it. Wow. Oh my God. This is going to make me go unconscious. You want a piece?
Sure.
James Hake didn't even know about sweet potato pie. When did you learn about sweet potato pie?
When I started working for Bond, that's when I learned about sweet potato pie. I didn't even know it existed.
What?
And this is sweet potato pie. Does it have white chocolate?
Oh.
Whoa.
What a life.
Delicious. Tastes like it smells.
This is the best gift ever. And you're right. It is absolutely delicious.
Sion says, eat like your aunt.
Made me want to fly to Indiana right after the show. Go out to the grave site of my mother. Dig up the grave. Snatch her out of it. Smack her. And put her back in, cover the grave, come back home. Thank you, Hassan.
Amazing.
It's delicious. And another thing, I got a black Santa in the mail yesterday. Thank you. Who sent me this?
Show Sugino. Send it to you.
Show Casino.
Show Sugino.
Thank you so much. I got a black Santa. Isn't that something?
He's Black Santa in a wheelchair.
And in case you're wondering,
that's actually an attractive toy.
If you
or
wonder,
ornament.
if you wonder why did they put the Santa in a wheelchair and he black, because they knew he wasn't going to do any work. He was already handicapped. He black in his mind, and so they just gave him a handicapped wheelchair.
What the?
Thank you so much for that. You want to show yours? Or
Sure.
Because you have some in the package too.
I got a flat Earth model from Show Sugino, and also some chicks publications. I'll show them on my show too.
Right. He got a flat Earth.
Look, it says flat. It's the flat Earth. It has the firmament over it, the heavens above it, the water, I guess, that it's in. Water's above, Earth, underworld, water's below.
What's the firmament?
This part.
What?
This part.
That
the
glass
dome.
part?
Yeah.
What the?
So why would God make a flat Earth and then put a round dome on it? Why he made the dome long like that too? Flat.
Because you have to cover it. You have to encase it.
Oh. And so
I guess.
What is it called?
The flat Earth model and the firmament. With the moon and stars and the sun go around the top of the firmament. And Elon Musk's little rockets keep on crashing into the firmament. They can't pierce it. But the moon is inside of the firmament, so it's possible that we did land on it, right? I don't know.
You would have hit the firmament.
No, the moon is inside the firmament.
What?
They say.
But the moon come up like this and go around.
Yeah.
Is it hitting the firmament?
No, it stays inside. According to this little diagram I see right here.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So thank you, Show Sugino. And I got the Chicks Publications. The Contract Chick Publications from Ontario, California. The Contract, these are Christian little comic book things. Born Wild.
Born to be wild.
See, it has black and white comics. Amazing. Christian messages.
I remember those.
Yeah. I used to read them. My mother had a whole basket full.
Yeah.
Earthman and Sin City.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Totally appreciate it.
And we also got snacks.
And we got a box of amazing snacks. From who?
Elizabeth? Let me run out and make sure.
For some reason, I want to say Virginia.
Oh, no.
But I think you may be right, Elizabeth. A bunch of amazing snacks. They are so good. Amazing. We're peeking out.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, thank you, Elizabeth. The whole office, thank you for the box of amazing snacks. Thank you, Elizabeth. Merry Christmas to all of you, and thank you for the Santa. Merry Christmas. I do appreciate it. Let's do the, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. I forgot to mention that. Thank you. Super chat.
Super chats.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, someone bought a coffee. Don't know if you heard, but Destiny, the beta, is going through a divorce after you told him it wouldn't work. She used him for status and to get into this country, then left him for someone else in the same way she left another guy for him. I think it's time to have him back on the show for an update.
Amazing. I will. Thank you. My friend sent me a text saying, do you want to slap your mama with those cookies? With that cookie? Yeah. That may bring her back alive. What the? Thank you. Okay.
Riley JM bought 8 coffees. Hey, JLP, is Jesse Lee Peterson your real name? It sounds like a white name. I ask because my buddy thinks you changed your name to get money and followers. Your name and show is more than just that to me. Merry Christmas. Thanks to you and the crew for spreading the good news.
Thank you. But why would I change my name? I don't understand that. My name is Jesse Lee Peterson. Everybody in Alabama is a Lee. So, yes, I am Jesse Lee Peterson. I did not change my name. That never occurred to me. And so I'm Jesse Peterson, Jesse Lee Peterson. And tell your friend, Beta!
Were you named after General Lee?
And I'm white on the inside, black on the outside. I'm not an African American. I'm an American. You said, was I named after General Lee?
Yeah, Robert E. Lee.
I don't know. He may have been tipping around.
Nice.
But no, that's my real name. I did not change my name. That name must be mighty nice. It can get followers.
It rolls off the tongue.
I never thought of that before. Thank you, though, but no, that's my real name.
Hannes O'Callahan bought 5 coffees. Biblical question answer.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
Well, he says, no! Never, ever, never, 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 ever care what other people think about you.
Are they saying that we're not supposed to care?
I think so.
Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday.
Merry Christmas and God bless Jesse and the crew, !
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too. We all appreciate it.
Sion bought 3 coffees. Aw, Sandman on the wall.
I know, huh?
On the background.
Amazing.
He wants some of Joel donuts. He's hungry. Amazing.
I don't really celebrate American Christmas as Sion.
What?
But Merry Christmas, and she spells it Merry like get married. Even with so many differences, I love my Jesse. Say Sion, darling, heart emoji.
Sion, you should. Christmas mean Christian, it means Christ. It's an American tradition. It is the right way to go. And it's just fun. It's appreciation. Celebrate Christmas. What the? Thank you, Sion.
What the?
Cactus Eater Bear donated a diamond. Shout out to all the shout-outers. Hake. Parentheses, Hake.
Shout out.
Yeah, I did a few shout-outs during the Hake news today.
Shout out to the shout-outs.
Woman bought you 5 coffees. What would you say to a married Christian woman whose husband has embraced Islam?
Wash your head.
Nice.
I would wash my neck.
You have Hassan cracking up, holding his face.
And don't resent him. Don't be angry. You stay on your straight and narrow path, and God will guide you. I wish you well. Thank you.
Sion bought you a coffee. Jesse, you look at the Hake report, made a snowman on my profile picture. Oh, yeah, she has a... Nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will.
Yeah, I'll show it to her. And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Thank you all so much. I do appreciate it. Let me go quickly to the busy phone. Lashawn is a first-time caller out of Florida. Lashawn, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Lashawn?
Hello.
Hey, Lashawn.
Hello. Hi. How you doing?
All is well. You're on the air.
Okay. I had a question about a scenario to get your perspective on it.
Okay.
I'm sure you remember the movie Imitation of Life.
I do.
Okay, back in the day when black people could pass for being, white in the society that existed then.
Yes.
And for them to get more benefits or, just get better things. Well, there is a real life story, the exact type of things that were happening, a real life story. I think it was a case on what was it? It's on one of the court shows. Either it was Judge Maybelline from old episode, or the judge that came after her. I can't remember her name.
And so somebody was on that show passing for white?
No, it was a mother and a daughter. It was this was a scenario. It was a black mother and a black daughter. She was grown of age. But when she was growing up, the daughter was growing up, her mother had to resort to, taking jobs that let them stay with the family. And I think these were white families. And I think she was in Alabama. She grew, I think they were in Alabama. Now, the mother was the right type of mother. She was very loving, very caring, very selfless and sacrificial for her daughter. But the daughter ended up having a problem, I don't understand, with families, her growing up, and I guess she was seeing the lifestyle of the family, and it just so happened to be white families. I guess where she saw a mother and a father in the home and things of that. So this caused her to reject her mother, and she did exactly, if you watch that movie, Imitation of Life, from the 1950s or 60s, she treated her mother exactly like the in that movie.
I love that movie. That movie was deep.
Yeah, so it was a good movie. It was sad, but it was good. Her
Yeah.
mother had to resort. To trying to contact her through her friends and trying to find a grocery store she shopped at, and stuff like that, so she could get a glimpse of her or try to talk to her. The daughter resented her, I guess, for thinking that she could have done better, not having to, being poor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you this: do you think, what happened in the courthouse, the real life courthouse? The mother had something to tell her, but she wanted to get in contact with her to make so she won't feel guilty. But the mother got a diagnosis of
Listen, your phone is, and you're telling such a nice story. I want to hear it, and it's not clear. Hold on a minute. Don't hang up. Let me let's try it again. Keep talking. Go ahead.
Okay, so in the real life courthouse, modern day real life, the judge was letting the mother speak to the daughter across the aisle to tell her, I have something to tell you, that I had a diagnosis. No, at first the daughter didn't want to speak to her, but she didn't know what her mother had to tell her. But her mother got it across that I had a diagnosis, I think, of a terminal illness. But what she wanted to do was get in contact with her so she doesn't feel guilty, so she doesn't feel bad. As a loving mother wouldn't want her to. So they didn't show the outcome of that. I guess her daughter let her talk to her. But I want to know, related to the father, there was no father in her life growing up with her mother. Do you think that the identity, was this like an identity crisis this young lady had? They went from home to home. Her mother had to work. She did house cleaning, so they live with white families. But her daughter wanted to be white.
Yeah, one thing I know for sure, it was an identity crisis. You're absolutely right. And had the girl had her father been raised by her father while her mother was working, that would have never happened.
Right.
It would not have happened at all. But she didn't have the father, so and she tried to identify with something that she thought was going to make her feel better.
Right.
And but I guarantee you, even though she identified with the whites, she's still unhappy within. She still have fear. She's still yearning for her father and all that stuff. It didn't solve the problem at all. It was just another false identity.
Right. One more thing. Can I ask you something else?
Yes.
Now, this is in the area of bringing the races together from the false narrative. What do you think about this? Okay, the word America. If you break down the letters, every letter in the word America, which that's not our full name. The United States of America is our full name now.
Right.
Because once upon a time, this land operated like two countries, the North and the South, two countries.
Yeah.
And so it became the United States after the Civil War of America. Okay, but the word America standing alone, it can be broken down into I am race. Using every letter out of the word America, it breaks down into I am race. And I thought it was ironic that on the land that we live on, that false narrative trying to bring white against black and black against white, that comes out of that word by itself,
Yeah.
I am race. So do you think the forefathers, because they said that George Washington and I forget who else, but they said that they were Freemasons, something like Freemasons, and something like there were principles of Christianity and things of that sort. But do you think that goes back to some type of philosophy or some type of plan in this, what's coming about in this, modern day time, using all these things to turn people against each other and control them? Do you think it was a plan? It was something way back?
Well, I do know that since when Adam and Eve did what they did, when Eve listened to the serpent and Adam listened to the woman, it changed everything. And it changed the hearts of men and caused mankind, men and women, and caused them to become evil. And anyone that has anger, they can't help but want to control others. They want, that's the only way they think they're going to have peace is by controlling somebody or something, and they can't.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all spiritual. They may be using other physical things as a way of getting it done, but it's a battle between good and evil people love controlling other people.
Oh, yeah. So it's a power struggle.
Yes, 100%.
I heard somebody say that 80% of what happens to human beings is spiritual, and the rest is like you said, physical.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Amazing call, Lashawn.
Oh, one more thing. This is country and western. So in honor of country and western, there was one time I wanted to write a country song, but the name of it, I never got to put words to it, but this was what the title was going to be, because at the time it was related to dating. I wanted to title it Right Man, Wrong Mama. Right man, wrong mama. So somebody can put words to that. A right man, but there's a mama in the background, and it's wrong mama.
Maybe we have Hassan put some words to it.
A challenge to anybody else. You know, because
right, man, wrong mama.
It could be a mama's boy, you know, who is, you know, too connected, and it could be other things that relate to the mama, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can find the right man, but the wrong mama is involved. Okay. Well, have a nice day.
You too, Lashawn. Merry Christmas. Call me again. Amazing call.
Okay.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Amazing. Merry Christmas. Right man, wrong mama. I feel a song coming on. Amazing. Wow. Country Western, amazing today. Thank you all. Merry Christmas. The Hake Report is coming up now. The Hake, Hake report.com. And after that, at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. And after that, the American Anchor Baby. Thank you all for your super chats, for the Christmas gifts and food and all that. Amazing snacks and things like that. Rick from Virginia. Matthew, a first-time call out of Florida. And somebody just hung up. I'm out of time. Tomorrow is Manhood Hour. I will be back tomorrow. The Lord is willing. And the creek don't rise. The Hake Report is coming up now. Thank you for your super chats and donations and all that. I do appreciate it. All right? Get on that straight and narrow, for I'm telling you, if you stay there, you will not regret it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You are responsible for you. Nobody else is. Nobody. And you can't take anyone on this trip with you. Only you on the path. You can't bring your wife, your husband, your kids, nobody. You have to travel this one alone. For those who are afraid to stand alone, ain't no other way you can do this. All right. Do the silent prayer. Go ahead and forgive your mama and your daddy. And God is with you. I'll see you tomorrow. The Hake Report is coming up now. Thank you all again for Cripple Santa.
What the?
Take care. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father.